event that's taking place at Cal State Fullerton today is a conference series, which Act Now conference series that we go throughout the state of California and to share how important early detection is, and particularly in the African American community. We believe that if we bring in the best medical providers, the best researchers and scientists and medical doctors to be able to share the information to the local level, that we believe that we could help reduce mortality rates, particularly in the African American community. So this conference is to bring awareness to students as well as their parents, as well as to faculty and staff, as well as a community-wide effort to be able to get educated in a day long of learning, of helping us to understand the importance of preventive care. We need to keep talking about it, not every now and then, but if we all, as family members, colleagues, professionals, if we talk about it on an ongoing basis, I believe that the outcomes for people of color communities will be much better.
Good morning, everyone. Good, you learned, right? Thank you. I feel so welcome. And I want to welcome you too. This is an exciting time for our campus. We are continuing to do the work. It's the work of building a campus community partnership, one that we value, and we want to continue this tradition. This is the real deal. And so one of the benefits of this conference, if you didn't know that already, is that we're able to offer, through a partnership with the Health Science Department, continuing education units. So that's sort of like an additional benefit, an additional way that this has grown.
Five years ago, there was a concern that homeless patients had no place to go once discharged from the hospital. If for you or I, we would go home, there would be a husband, a wife, child, neighbor, someone who could look after you until we could go back to work. A homeless person doesn't have that luxury. Hospitals were basically shipping them off to shelters or returning them to the streets. And that really wasn't the most appropriate care setting in order for a person to get back on their feet. It just so happens 5 years ago, the city of Los Angeles passed an ordinance that made it illegal for hospitals to do that. And so this program became very important to hospitals after that ordinance got passed.
We used to think that the breast tissue gets fattier as you get older, and that's true for some women. It does, but there are some breast tissue patterns that don't change over the years. They're born dense and they stay dense. Some women, they're born dense, and as their breasts go through the normal maturation, that is getting pregnant, having the baby, breastfeeding, they get fatty. That does happen. Oh, I gotta say something. That makes me think of hormones. In about 30% of patients, estrogen will make the breasts dense. So here I was year after year looking at some nice fatty breasts, no problem. I'm gonna find this lady's cancer when it's itty bitty. The next year, it's dense. What happened? She started her hormones.
When it comes to clinical trials, we're talking about the availability of trials to individual cancer patients, both in the African American community and in underserved communities. And it really depends on successful recruitment and participation of individuals. Now, the G.R.E.E.N Foundation has one of the key sponsors of this program, and they serve as a grassroots community-based advocate in support of clinical trials. And G.R.E.E.N Foundation has taken a proactive role in both educating and in their efforts to increase recruitment and enrollment. Somewhere between 65 to 75% of cancers are preventable. There are preventable cancers, and those preventive measures you're involved with lifestyle changes, in exercise, and in changing an attitude. But unfortunately, we know what to do, but we tend to do what we know.
I don't want to die, but I can't think of any other way out. I'm feeling completely overwhelmed, completely helpless, you know, in one way or another, maybe in multiple ways, in relationships, professionally, you know, socially, and they don't feel like, you know, that they have any control. And so, okay, you know what, you're having a difficult time. We can work on this. We can figure a way out. You know, there are other ways to cope other than suicide. So, just starting that dialogue can reduce anxiety, open up communication, and actually lowers the risk that somebody is going to follow through on whatever thoughts they were having.
I liked it. So far, so good. I like the idea of being more aware of the healthcare issues that we deal with. Presentations have been very good, very easy to follow, very informative.
Dr. Campbell's speech was really great. I think breast cancer among African American women is a huge issue that we don't really discuss or take time to even get ourselves tested. I actually had 2 ultrasounds done just because I was freaked out about a lot of issues. So I think it's very important that as a female that we do go get these checkups and just to make sure like we're functioning properly.
So it was important for me to keep learning because it's my body and who else is going to take care of it? And learning about it is so important so I can learn to take care of my body better so I can live longer, hopefully.
If we are able to save one person's life, because we promote early detection does save lives, so when we hear someone's life has been improved, all the time and effort of the 6 months planning a conference, it's well worth it. So the ultimate goal is, did we impact and save a life today?